Hi, this is Swan with Swan Amity Studios, and today I'm here to talk to you about Famore's new rotary cutter. Now, some of you might say, oh, I do not need to hear about another rotary cutter, but you do. You really, really do. Now, I went to their booth at DragonCon this year, and I really just went for one thing. I went to get these beautiful easy snips from them, which I absolutely adore. And the reason I love them is because I really just wanted a beautiful pair of snips. And look, they're gorgeous. They are beautiful. But in addition to that, see that they have that little curvy bottom? Look at that. Not straight. And that's what I'm aiming for when I'm looking for a close surface pair of scissors. Because when I finish a beautiful free motion project like these little pauldrons and this little vambrace that I made with free motion, I'm going to show you in another video how I finish these up and make them into wearables. But for now, let's talk about how fabulous these snips are. Because when you buy a little curvy bottom pair of scissors and you have to stick your fingers in tiny little holes, or you have to use pressure in order to close them a little bit more, you are engaging so much more of your muscles and you're trying to stick your fingers in tiny little holes, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I went to get these snips because they're so easy to use and they're so perfectly sharp. And because they have that curvy bottom, the blade of the scissor doesn't actually cut the surface of your project. And I know that to be so true that I am willing to cut right on the surface of my hand because I know it's not going to cut me. Curvy bottom scissors are the way for you to be able to snip off your little tails, your little ends, without cutting the surface of your quilt. So I found these. It's exactly what I wanted, and I was all ready to check out when Brent said, hey, Swan, don't leave the booth just yet. Let me show you our fabulous new rotary cutter. And, I, like you, said, I don't know that I need to see that. I have a rotary cutter. I have 3, in fact. Why do I need another one? Well, okay. Before I even saw the test, I knew why I wanted another one. Let me just show you how this works. Because if I open this up, and I want to open it up for you first before I even show you how well it works, because you, like me, are probably going to be like, oh God, of course that's what I needed. So let me just take that blade off for a second and show you that this is not your normal interior mechanism of a blade of any kind of rotary cutter, because rotary cutters turn by pushing down on the blade so that the blade rotates inside of the cutter. But this one, and I can't even zoom in enough to show you this, so you're gonna have to trust me that it's there. But if you get yours, you'll find you can see it inside. Inside this little section of my blade mechanism is teeny tiny little ball bearings, so that when I do close this up, and let's do this safely so that we're not slicing me. I don't need that to happen. I'm going to put my little top back on there. And when the blade turns now, those little ball bearings are helping the blade to turn so that it seriously reduces the amount of pressure you need to use. And you are not going to believe this. It is so fantastic. It increases the number of layers of fabric you can cut with accuracy. So let's set this aside for a second and grab one of my little rulers here. I'm going to start with just 4 layers of fabric. This is just 4. Now, that's pretty standard. I usually cut about 4 layers of fabric, especially when I am cutting strips for a project. Here, I'm just going to show you that with 4 layers of fabric, normally I would press down with a little bit of strength behind it. I'm going to open my blade. See, it has that nice safety feature. I like something that allows me to open and close my blade easily. And I'm going to just cut here, just those 4 layers. I'm going to use almost no pressure. It's really just about 3/4, no, less than half the amount of pressure that I would normally use. Now I'm gonna bump that up just a little bit because I'm gonna cut through 8 layers of fabric. I'm just gonna fold that right over. Actually, I'm gonna go just a little bit further because we're gonna keep going with this concept. So let's cut 8 layers of fabric. Right, all the way through here is 8. Once again, my blade is open. I'm gonna get started, and again, I'm not going to use very much pressure here. 8 layers of fabric, perfectly clean cut. There are no jagged edges on this fabric right now, which just makes me super happy. Now, let's go ahead and double that guy. Let's make 12 layers of fabric because I was kind of amazed at this point. I was already kind of like 8 layers of fabric, perfectly clean cut. I'm sold. But here's where I really got excited because this is 12 layers of fabric. Seriously, not very much pressure at all here. Look at that cut. Look how clean these edges are. Look how those just are perfect little strips. I'm so happy with that. That was 12 layers of fabric, my friends. I cannot even believe it. But don't stop there. Let's go 8, and let's do 8, and let's do 16 layers of fabric. Now, this isn't a great big cut, I know, but I just want to kind of keep it in close here for you for a moment. 16 layers of fabric, all right there. Let's see how that cuts. Now I'm going to start over here. I don't have as many layers, but as I get up to my 16 layers, I'm going to increase my pressure just a little bit. You can probably see that in the point of my finger, but check that out. Look how perfect that cut is. Look how extremely clean that cut is. 16 layers of fabric. Oh my goodness. I am such a happy quilter right now. So, Famoré has sold me on the idea that I absolutely did need a new cutter, and I didn't even know that I needed a new cutter. But there you are. Ball bearings have made my life so much easier. I am seriously using less pressure. I am doing so much more cutting with layers, and I am so much happier. Even on thicker fabric, jean fabric, duck fabric, I am not having any trouble with this beauty. And here's what makes it even more fun, because did you know we could make it even more fun? Brent and Sebastian at Famoré apparently did know we could make it more fun. So they have taken a new high-grade Japanese steel and made their rotary blades out of this fabulous material. Not only will it last longer, stay sharper longer, but when you flip this sucker over, you would find out that they believe in getting the most out of their products. Ha! Don't you too? And they have new sharpening services, including for their rotary blades. So don't toss your blade if it gets nicked or if it gets dull. Put it back in this container, check the details on their website, and find out how you can send these back and get them resharpened and sent back to you. So fabulous. What a wonderful service. There's my gorgeous new snips, my fabulous muscle-saving, life-saving 45mm rotary cutter, and the incredible hardened blades. I am so happy. Thank you, Famoré, for making an absolutely fabulous product line that just makes me an incredibly happy stitcher. And that's right, folks. Don't forget, stitch happy.